Welcome, class of 2025. This is the Lions Night for Essential Planning, also what you need to know about scheduling. My name is Matt Mindell, and I'm one of the counselors here at Howard High School. I work with students last name A through K in the 9th grade. We also have another counselor, Ms. Grieve, who works with students 9th grade L through Z. Once the students get to 10th grade, they actually have 5 different counselors depending on their last name. We have Mr. Glenn, A through C, Ms. Green-Lewis, D through H, Ms. Suter, I through MO, Ms. Papadeus, MU through SC, and Ms. Hoffman, SF through Z. So they will be your counselors once you're in 10th, 11th, 12th grade. But for now, it's Mr. Mindell and Ms. Grieve who work with the 9th graders. Objectives tonight, we're going to briefly go over the graduation requirements. We're going to review how to select courses and alternatives, explain the process you want to complete a course placement review, and also talk about different opportunities for our students. So first, let's talk about graduation requirements. There's 4 areas that you have to complete in order to graduate. Tonight, we're mostly going to focus on credit requirements. We're not going to talk about the other 3 too much. Just be aware, service learning, you need 75 hours in order to graduate, and that can be done anytime before graduation. Most of our students who are who went to Howard County middle schools have already completed this. So they do 25 hours a year for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So you're most likely complete that. If you went to a private school, out of county, homeschool, most likely you have not completed this. But don't worry, you've got 4 years to do it. And there's a couple classes actually you can take later on in high school that fulfill those 75 hours if you're looking for a way to do that. High school assessments, I just want to mention there's 4 high school assessments you have to pass to graduate in each of the core subjects. And then career preparation. This is not something you have to worry about until junior year. We do something called a junior interview, where you do a resume and then actually have a pretend interview with a professional, and that is the career preparation piece. But tonight we're going to talk about the credits. So let's go over those. There are 21 credits that you need to complete in order to graduate. And a credit is a class. So one class equals 1 credit. A full year class, or if we're doing the semesterized again, then it would be a semester class. But we're expecting, or at least we're told to expect, to go back to a full day, 7-period day for the full year next year. If we're back to virtual and back to a 4x4 schedule, then it would be 8 credits a year, and it'd be 4 in the fall and 4 in the spring, like we're doing right now. Now, for these credits, you need 4 English classes. So you take English all 4 years. You need 3 social studies, specifically U.S. history, American government, and world history. You have to take those three areas. Next, we have mathematics. You need to take 4 years of math, but only pass 3. That's why there's an asterisk there. It's a little different than the other classes where you can actually not pass one of them and still graduate as long as you pass 3 of them and take 4. Though we recommend that you pass all 4. Next, we have science. You would take 3 years of science. And then next, we have fine arts. So all students have to take at least 1 fine arts class during the 4 years of high school. It does not have to be 9th grade year, but a lot of our 9th graders do take fine arts. We also have health and PE, or health and lifetime fitness. That is a half credit each. That will be automatically assigned to you during 9th grade. That's when we recommend you take it. If you have a conflict in your schedule and you don't think it will fit, meaning you want to take other classes, please reach out to your 9th grade counselor. We can talk to you about that to see if pushing that off to 10th grade is an option. Though we do highly recommend you take it in 9th grade year. Next, we have tech ed. And that you have to take 1 tech ed class, just like the fine arts, anytime in the 4 years. Then we have a program choice. You're going to actually choose one of 2 programs, either doing a world language or a career academy. You have to do one of those in order to graduate. Those are 2 to 4 credits depending on which one you choose. Then you have 1 to 3 electives to round out 21 credits. So the number of electives depends on which program choice you do. All right, so program choice options. Now I mentioned there was 2 options and there's 3 listed here. We don't have advanced technology at Howard High School at this moment. It is not offered, so it's really just world language or career technology completer, also known as a career academy. You have to take at least 4 credits, 4 to 5 credits in a career academy. World language, you just need to take 2 credits. Now you can do both. It's not an either or situation, so a lot of our students will do world language and a career academy. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. High school assessments. We mentioned earlier there's 4 assessments you have to take. Just want to go over those real quick. Algebra 1, you have to take the end whenever you take that. So some of you may have taken it in 8th grade, some will take it next year in 9th. We have English 10, you'll take after 10th grade. Government, which is generally done in 10th grade as well. And then we have a science, also known as a MISA, Maryland Integrated Science Assessment, you'll take at the end of your 11th grade. So those are your 4 tests that you're going to have to pass in order to graduate. Looking at courses or signing up for courses, I want everyone to be aware that there is what's called a high school catalog or course catalog. You can find that on Howard County's website. So please go on to hcpss.org and you can just search catalog or search HCPSS catalog, and you'll find a PDF version of that you can look through with all the courses offered in the county. Just note that not every single course in that catalog will be offered at Howard High School. We offer most of them, but it's just not possible to offer every single class every year. So, just be aware of that when you're going through that. Now, I wanted to go through a typical 9th grade schedule with you all, so you're kind of aware of what you're working with. So, most 9th graders will take English 9, either regular, honors, or GT. GT stands for gifted and talented. It's kind of our most rigorous level, honors being the middle, and regular being regular. And then we have U.S. History, also regular honors GT. We got math, and that could be Algebra 1, it could be Geometry GT, Algebra 2 GT. We also have we also have Science, which could be Earth and Space Science, or Biology GT. Many of our students will take World Language, not all, but our world languages that we offer: French, German, Sign Language, and Spanish. We also have Latin and Chinese offered through digital education, just so you know. That's kind of when I say digital education, that's a virtual class, even if we're back in the building. Then we have not all students take world language 9th grade. You can push it off to 10th grade if you're not ready or there's other classes you want to take. But most students if they're going to take a world language, are taking it by 10th grade if they're not doing a career academy. Our 6th class, Lifetime Fitness and Health, all of our 9th graders are automatically enrolled in that, unless you talk to a counselor about changing that. That has to be done as a graduation requirement as well. And then last, we have electives. So you can do either a fine arts or tech ed, a JRTC. We also have food nutrition, and we got career academies, and we got business classes, computer classes. So there's a whole bunch of options you can do for your elective. These are just some examples. So that 7th class is really just anything that you're interested or want to do. Now we're going to talk about the core areas, just so you have a typical idea of what things are going to look like over the next 4 years. So in mathematics, if you look at the top, we have our freshman level. If you're taking Algebra 1, you'll go on to Geometry. You'll go into Algebra 2, and then go on to either Math Analysis or Trig. If you're in Geometry GT this coming year, you go into Algebra 2 GT, Pre-Calc GT, and then eventually Calculus AP. AP stands for Advanced Placement. It's a college level class. And then if you're in Algebra 2 GT, you'll go into Pre-Calc GT, Calc AP AB, and then Calc AP BC. So it's 2 levels of calculus that we offer. So that's just a typical math progression when you got to kind of see what the future holds. Now, you can certainly take summer school classes if you're trying to get ahead. Some students even double up in math classes so they can move ahead. Or you can also switch between regular and GT. That's perfectly fine as well. So I don't want you to think this is like a stagnant line. Once you're on one track, you're stuck there. Sciences, you are going to have to take 3 sciences, and then you take that MISA at the end of your junior year. So I want to show you the progression here. So there's A path and B path. Your typical A path, you start in Earth Space Science, go into biology, and then advanced physical science. Your typical B path, you start in Bio GT, then go into Chem GT and AP Physics. Now I want you to notice that you actually do this ESS, which stands for Earth Space Science, in both bio and chemistry, so you can get those that information as well. So by the time you've done your 4 years, 3 years, you'll have done biology, chemistry, physics, and Earth Space Science on both sections. This advanced physical science is actually a combination of a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of physics all in one. As you can notice, these arrows, you can switch tracks if you are, want to challenge yourself or struggling in an area, so there's different options there. All right, next we're going to talk about English. So right now in 8th grade, most of you who are in Howard County Public Schools either in English 8 or in English 8 GT. Well, next year there are 3 levels: English 9, English 9 Honors, English 9 GT. So if you are in English 8 GT, you could opt to maybe go into the English 9 honors, or if you're in English 8 regular and you want to move up to the English 9 honors, those are options as well. U.S. history, kind of the same way. We have 8th grade U.S. history and 8th grade U.S. history GT. You can move on to U.S. history GT or honors. And if you're in the regular, you can go on to regular or move to the honors as well. And then in sophomore year, you can move up again, or continue on to American Government Regular, American Government Honors, or AP Government. So just kind of showing you that progression. I know there's no arrows moving down, but you can move down if you're struggling in an area, but we want to encourage kids to challenge themselves and push to the next level. So those are your 4 academics, kind of showing you those progressions. Let's talk about languages. So like we said, one of the completer options is to do a language, 2 years of it. Now, some of you may be doing language right now in middle school, which is perfectly fine. It does count as one of those 2 years. However, I always put a caveat on that. The colleges I speak to, so when I talk to admissions counselors, they are telling me they want to see 2 years of language in high school, and specifically 2 years of the same language. They want to see you kind of get advanced in the same language while in high school. So if you took French 1 in middle school, that's great. You can actually start at French 2 at Howard High School, but then I really recommend you go on to take French 3 as well. And we have 2 and 2 honors as options, as well as 3 and 3 honors. So these are our languages: American Sign Language, French, German, Spanish, and then we have Latin and Chinese as digital ed or virtual classes. Now, I want to do a little mention about American Sign Language. That is actually one of our most popular classes. And for the most part, we try to prioritize our sophomores so that they can take all 3 years. So if you're a freshman or you're going to be a freshman and you don't get it, you ask for it and it doesn't work in your schedule, or we don't have enough spots for it, don't worry, we will try to get it to your 10th grade year. But if you really want to do a language, you might want to think about doing a French, German, or Spanish backup, because like I said, every year sign language actually fills up, and we have students who are put on a wait list who are unable to get it. So we just want to make sure you have another alternate in case that doesn't work out. But these are our languages. And French goes up to level 5, so does Spanish, and then German you can go up to level 4, all AP levels on them. All right, the other option, if you don't do a world language, is a career academy, or you can do both. This is all good, all good stuff. So just some of our career academies, I want to note that the red ones are ones that you can start as a freshman. The rest of them, for the most part, you start in either 10th or 11th grade, so you have more time to make this decision. But we have aerospace engineering, we have accounting, we have agricultural science, animation, apprenticeship, architecture design, automotive, biotechnology, business management, career and leadership development, computer programming, and construction. We also have cosmetology, culinary science, cybersecurity, networking, engineering, project lead the way, finance, graphic design, health professions in 4 different areas, HVAC, JROTC, marketing, and system project engineering, and teacher academy. Now, I also want to note these 2 that are starred are not only ones you can start freshman year, we actually recommend you start them freshman year. They're actually built to be 4-year programs. You can start it as a sophomore, but you'll be behind and you need to double up to kind of catch up. So we do recommend those you start freshman year. The other red ones you can start sophomore year. There's no rush on them, but you can, if you want to start them freshman year. A couple I want to highlight. Cosmetology is brand new. It's going to be starting next year. So something to start to plan for or look forward to maybe your sophomore year is cosmetology for the first time that we are offering that. Also, JRTC in the past was not a career academy. It was just an elective credit. This is the first year we're actually offering it as a career academy for that completer. So that's good news if you're interested in doing that. So I just wanted to kind of mention those 2 things. If you're interested in any of these, feel free to reach out to your counselor. We can talk to you about them. They're also in the course catalog as well. Like I said, JRTC, we just wanted to kind of highlight it's a completer option now, which it wasn't before. So if you have like older siblings, they may not have been able to have this as an option. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about our career and technology education department. What is it? It's really just encompassing our opportunities to explore different career pathways after high school, mainly stuff like business and computers and technology. all our tech ed classes fall under this, which would be our 4 options are Foundation of Tech, Computer Science Principles AP, Exploring Computer Science Honors, and Intro in Engineering Design GT. So these are 4 options you have to take your tech ed. We also have other areas in CT, such as Principles of Marketing, Accounting, and Management. We have 6 different computer science courses to offer. We have Family and Consumer Sciences. So we have Culinary Science program. We have a Teaching Academy. One thing I want to know in the academies is if you want to take just one course in them and then not continue with it, that is perfectly fine. So it's not like you have to be stuck to the 3 or 4 years of it that, or 2 years of it if you don't enjoy it or if you just want a taste for it. So like classes like culinary and teaching are both an academy, but you can also just take the standalone classes. Engineering, we mentioned that with the Project Lead the Way. We also JRTC falls under this as well. So just wanted to kind of see the CTE options you have. We mentioned computer science. Introductory level, we have computer science honors and computer science AP. So those are for 9th graders, can join those. We also have Principles of Java. You can do it anytime. That's a GT class. And we have computer science AAP. You actually have to take Principles of Java first, then you can go into computer science AAP, not to be confused with Principles AP. I know they're very similar sounding. The AAP is a little more advanced. That's after the Java. So these are different areas you can take computer science classes. We also mentioned that fine arts was a graduation requirement. These are different areas. These are options for 9th graders. So you can do Art 1, Band, Choir, Dance 1, Guitar 1, Music Technology 1, Music Theory 1, Piano 1, Percussion Ensemble, String Ensemble, and Theater Arts 1. Now, a few notes on that. If you are a very good piano player, let's say, you've been playing your whole life, you can actually audition to go directly into upper levels. So you'll reach out to either the counselor, we can get you in touch with the teacher or director in charge to see if you belong in an upper level. And that's just totally optional if you want to, if you're like, I've been doing this for years and I want to try to push ahead. Those all count as fine arts credits, and even the advanced classes, if you skip the level 1, that's fine. One thing I want to note is photography is a class we offer that's a fine arts, but it's not on this list because you actually have to take Art 1 first. It's a prerequisite before you can take photography. A lot of students ask me about that. Just want to be clear. You do take Art 1 first, then you can take photo as a sophomore. All right, so that's kind of a quick overview of the courses that the students are going to be choosing from for next year. So if you have any questions, please reach out to one of your counselors. Next, we're going to talk about how to actually do their course registration. The window is 12/21 to 1/15. So that is going to be when you can actually fill out these courses online. It's all done through HCPSS Connect. Just know that right now we're planning on a 7-period school day next year. In the event we go back to a 4x4 schedule, which is the one we have now, spring and fall, your first alternate will be your 8th course. So make sure that first alternate is very, it's one you're willing to take. It's important to take your time and pick one that you would be willing to take as an 8th course in case we end up back in a 4x4 schedule. And make sure all your alternates are put in priority order. So you're supposed to kind of rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're going to watch a video on how to pick your courses, or how to register for your courses.
Hello, this video reviews the process for rising 9th to 12th graders to select their course requests for electives and alternates online through HCPSS Connect. Please note the following when making your course request. Use the catalog of approved high school courses to review selections. If you do not have access to a computer, need assistance, or want to make changes after January 15th, please contact the counseling office at your school. You will need to log into HCPSS Connect. On the home page, click on the course request option in the left panel. A page displays showing your current recommendations for 4 classes and the graduation summary. To add requests, click here to change course request button. Note that the course requests from the teacher's recommendations are locked. If you have concerns or disagree with any of the course recommendations, your parent or guardian may complete a course placement review form through HCPSS Connect. To add course requests, search for courses in the search area below. You can select a department, start entering a course ID or a course title. The list updates automatically with courses that match your search criteria. Click the Add Request button to add a primary request, or click the Add Alternate button to add an alternate request. Complete the 7 credits in the selected course request area and have at least 4 alternates. Continue to search until you have 7 credits above and 4 alternates below. Continue to search and add alternates and primary requests as needed. Note, the first alternate course request will be used as the 8th request should Howard County continue the 4x4 schedule next year. Requests are saved automatically when they are added to the list. To delete a course request, click the Remove button and add another request to complete 7 credits above and 4 credits in the alternates. Review your course requests and make any adjustments as necessary. Click the Click Here to return to course request summary when you are finished. The graduation status summary will update automatically based on the request that you have added for next year. When you are done, you may click the Lock Course Requests to lock your requests and submit them to the counselor for review. Once you lock your course request, you will need to contact your school counselor to make any edits. Thank you for watching this video.
All right, so that just goes over how to add course requests and alternates. So we hope you're doing that. Now, or either have already done that or doing that in the next week or two. If you, as a parent and a student, decide that you want a different course than what is recommended by the teacher. So let's say the teacher put you in English 9 Honors and you want to be in GT, or let's say you want to be in regular, either direction. You can do what's called a course placement review. Now, I can't emphasize enough, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you speak to your teacher first. One, if they agree with you, they can go ahead and make that change very quickly and easily, and that will save everyone a lot of work. And also, if they don't agree with you, they may have a reason why. They may know some things that you don't know about what's coming up, and different reasons. Maybe it's a writing issue or something they have to work on, and why they're recommending what they're recommending. So I really, really can't say this enough. Please talk to your teacher before filling out a course placement review. We also want you to think about pushing and challenging yourself. So we do want to encourage students to move up if they feel like they're ready, but also finding that balance. It's a tough thing to kind of figure out, is what is too much challenge and what's going to overwhelming. And we want to make sure our students are still being successful, emotionally healthy, and not overwhelmed. At the same time, getting good grades. So the colleges are telling us they want to see B's or better in all the classes. So if you're getting a C or D in a class, you may want to think about moving down a level. So not kind of pushing yourself too much, and getting those B's or better in all your classes. And work with your student and parent together to make sure you have course you want. So this is going to be a video about how to fill out a course placement review.
Hello, this video reviews the process for parents and guardians to enter course placement review forms using HCPSS Connect. Teacher recommendations are based on multiple criteria. This online form is to request a course placement that is different from the recommendation. You will need to log into HCPSS Connect using your parent login. Please do not log in as the student. On the home page, click on the More Options link in the left panel and click Course Placement Review in the center. You will be taken to the Course Placement Request page. This page will show the recommendations that have been made for your child. You can change the student in the drop-down list if necessary. In the Parent Request column for recommended course, you can select a different preferred course. And then you can make a comment indicating why you prefer this course selection. Note that for Level 2 World Language recommendations, you can decline the recommended course by selecting Drop Course. This option is only available for a World Language Level 2 course. If you choose to drop the Level 2 World Language course, you will be prompted with a message indicating that students are recommended to take 2 years of a world language. Click OK to confirm this message and to continue. Enter a comment as to why you want to drop this course. When you're done making your selections and entering comments, click Complete Review. Review each statement listed below and select Yes to acknowledge that you understand the statement. You can also click on the Catalog of Approved Courses link and the Graduation Requirements link. Yes is a required response for all acknowledgments of statements before you can click the Next Step button. Click the Next Step button, enter your parent name, and enter the date that you are submitting the request, and click the Submit Request button. You will receive a pop-up message indicating that your request has been submitted and will be reviewed by the school. Click OK to close this window. You can return to this window to make additional edits and resubmit at any time. Note that you can also click the Request History button to review the history of your request submissions. The history will also show the status of those submissions. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please contact the counseling office at your child's school. Thank you.
All right, one thing I want to say about course-based reviews is please be patient with them. Once you fill them out, we actually, as counselors, don't have a chance to go through them all until after we have scheduled everyone. So it could be a month or two before that is updated in the system. So I don't want you to worry if it still says the old class after you filled out a CPR. So other things to note is we are actually, the next few weeks, you're going to be meeting with your counselor. I'm not sure when each middle school has this planned. You're actually going to be meeting with your 8th grade counselor to go over your schedule selections to make sure that they are appropriate and you filled it out correctly and everything for the following year. And so please figure out when that date is. Talk to your middle school counselors about that. I want to do a little ad for our Jumpstart program. So you may have heard this word before. Jumpstart is for our students who are taking classes at HCC, at Howard Community College. We have a bunch of classes offered at the campus of HCC. We also have some classes in our high school that have the CC next to them. So like Principles of Business is what's called a CC class. We actually get college credit for taking that, but it's taken at Howard High School. Classes actually taken at HCC would be classes that you do what's called dual enrollment, where you're enrolled in both HCC and Howard High School. Now, not a ton of freshmen do this, but we do have a couple every year, so that's something you can talk to your counselor about if you're interested in taking classes at the community college. There's some forms you got to fill out. You got to apply to HCC, and then make sure you register for the desired course at HCC. So that's kind of the order of things to do if you want to take a class at Howard Community College. But talk to your counselor if that's something you are interested in. HCPSS Connect, we talked about that a lot in our courses. This is just a link to kind of get you there. Other things we want to note is we have a program here at Howard High School called Howard Scholars. Where you actually take 6 AP or HCC classes throughout your 4 years. You have to take 1 in each area: math, social studies, English, and science, and your core classes, plus 2 others. GT Independent Research and GT Intermentor also count in this, so we add that as well. You have to get a C or higher in each class, and if it's an AP class, actually take the AP exam. So this is throughout high school. Over the 4 years, if you can take 6 classes, then in those college level areas, you'll become a Howard Scholars and get a certificate and I believe a sash or a cord, sorry, at graduation. Ways to get involved. We would really encourage our ninth graders when they come in to plan on getting involved. We have a ton of clubs and organizations. This is just a quick list of a few of them. There's more being added all the time, so this might not even be an entire list, but you can kind of look over that. On our Howard High School website, there's actually a tab where you can find out more information. We really want to encourage our incoming ninth graders to get involved early and often. It's a great way to meet people, build your resume, and do something fun outside of just your classes. We also have a bunch of sports. Want to note that fall sports, every student is eligible. So when you join fall sports, here's a list of them. They actually start in early August, so you want to make sure you're aware of when that starts, reaching out to the coach now, make sure you get your paperwork and your physical done so you can start in August for your fall sports. Winter and spring sports, you do have to be eligible. To be eligible, you have to have a 2.0 GPA or better and no more than 1 E. So you have to be academically eligible, so make sure your studies come first, and then you can play some of our sports. That's a list of our winter sports. And then here are our spring sports. And we have some great sports programs at Howard High School, often winning county and state championships. Our girls basketball team was actually undefeated last year up until the point when the pandemic shut down their season right before the state semifinals. It was quite a rough, tough way to end the season. Let's just put it that way. All right, and that's all we have for now. So we really thank you for sitting through this presentation and learning some things. Please reach out to your counselors if you have any questions whatsoever. We're happy to help. And we are looking forward to seeing you all next year at Howard High School. Just note this is a picture taken before the pandemic. So I want to make sure you guys knew that we weren't going against the masks and social distancing. So this is taken well for that's our principal and a bunch of our students. But once again, my name is Mr. Mindell. I'm one of the counselors here, and thank you very much for joining me with this presentation. Have a great night. Oh, quick word. We do have a bunch of question and answer sessions after this, so make sure you are aware of when they are, so you can join in and hop on those. We'll be at the counselor session, and so we really like to see you guys there as well with any questions you have. Thank you very much. Have a great night.